Today is the vlog for my May 21st, 2018. And I am exhausted, but it's the good kind of exhausted. For the first time in about 4 days, the sun really came out and it got nice, and I happened to pick the exact right time to go for a walk. But this walk was a little bit longer than the ones I usually go on. Got bit by some mosquitoes because I went down to the lake. Actually, what I did was I parked at a landing on the lake, Lake Sammamish, I should say, at the East Sammamish landing, and walked all the way down to Marymore. That part of the walk is about 20 or 25 minutes. And then did my loop around the park and then walked back to my car for a total of 2 hours and 10 minutes. and that's a pretty long walk. Some people may hear that and go, 2 hours of walking, that's not exercise. I challenge anybody who weighs less than 200 pounds to put on enough weight, like a fat suit, so that they weigh 250 pounds and then walk for 2 hours, and tell me how you feel at that point. Believe me, when you weigh 260 pounds like I do, 2 hours of walking is exercise. And it's good exercise. It's fairly flat, not a lot of climbing, just the stairs at the start and at the end to get back to my car. But yeah, and it was just beautiful. I mean, it was cloudy in the south, and the sun sort of peeked in and out of the clouds sometimes. But up north, it was all broken up blue sky, just gorgeous. And it's snowing. It's not snowing. But that was what I texted my sister and my brother-in-law when I took a picture of the paved pathway covered in what looks like snow, but is actually just cottonwood fiber coming out of the trees. I guess today is just the right conditions where it's warm enough. You can see it floating by in the window. But it just, boom, released in the air. I actually got a text from a friend early this morning saying, "Is there a lot of cotton fiber where you are?" And I misunderstood him. I thought he was asking if I had carbon fiber for like a crafting project. But no, he was just asking if the cottonwoods were doing what they were doing down where he is, down south. And once I actually got up and looked around, yeah, sure they were. But yeah. It's the 21st, so it's been 1 month since Leo went to sleep. And I still think about him every day. I sort of wondered if I would be done after a couple of weeks feeling like this, because I don't remember what it was like when Mittens passed away, but part of that is Mittens passed away, but I still had Kitsy, and then very shortly after I had Leo. And this is the first month of my life where I've had no cats at all. It certainly makes for a less eventful day, and I still turn corners expecting to see him. My normal schedule would be to come home. My normal behavior would be to come home and just sort of check all of his different, sleeping spots that he would be sitting around, doing what cats do most of the time, which is nothing. And I sort of realize now what I was doing was I was checking to make sure that he was okay every day that I came home, because I didn't do that when Mittens was alive, and then suddenly she wasn't there when I got home one day. And so I was always afraid that the same thing would happen to Leo. But, I still imagine him. I imagine him walking along the fence along the trail today, batting at all the cotton fiber in the air. He didn't go out too far from this house. He had his territory, which basically took up the next door neighbor on either side's yard and a little bit of the area behind us, but mostly just our backyard. Our backyard is quite robust, with a lot of terraces, and his little spot next to a bush that he could crawl behind when the sun was a little too bright for him and he wanted to cool off in the shade. Well, sorry to sort of spoil the mood with some sort of heavier talk, but the really good news is this weather is supposed to be the start of a beautiful week. And my dad is going to be doing something next weekend on Sunday. And I might do the vlog down there just on my phone, which would be nice. It's a special car show, sort of a drive-in car show, but usually with some really cool vehicles, a lot of classics. Not so much the exotics that you get at Exotics at the Redmond Town Center. But, well, I'm over my 5 minutes, so I'm going to go sit and do absolutely nothing for a little while. And there was a movie or something I was thinking, oh, yeah. I saw a reading list from Bill Gates mentioning some of the books he was planning on reading this summer or had already read. And there's a movie based on a book that always makes me sort of excited, called Contact with Jodie Foster. It is a fantastic film. It is science fiction unlike just about anything else I've ever seen in my life. And it's just really nice. So I'm going to go see if it's on Netflix and probably watch that for the afternoon. Anyway, I'm Eric Spornitz, and tomorrow will be better.